Assalamu alaikum. This is lecture 4 dealing with unit 3, and in particular, as we have just agreed with each other, we are going to discuss only one skill in each lecture, one in a face-to-face lecture and one in an online lecture. And today is lecture 4 dealing with the first skill in unit 3. This unit is entitled Components and Assemblies. Components and assemblies. Components means constituents, مكونات, and assemblies means groups, مجموعات. Okay, so the first skill in this unit we are going to discuss in this lecture is describing components with regard to their shapes and their features. Describing how to describe components with regard to their shapes and features. Let's begin. First of all, as usual, we have to discuss the assignment I ask you to prepare for after next time, inshallah. So we have two assignments. On this slide, we have two assignments. It's your turn to choose only one of them. Only one. And again, prepare it individually or in pairs or in groups, maximum 5 students. Okay, two assignments. It's up to you to choose any one of them. Okay, the first one is, what do you know about the electrical plugs and sockets used in different countries? In pairs, describe some specific designs. What are plugs and sockets? Plugs فيشة الجهاز الكهربي, and the sockets الفيشة اللي بتكون في الوول, في الحيطة. Okay, so we have in this assignment discuss what do we know about the electrical plugs and sockets used in different countries, and in pairs or individually or in groups, maximum 5, describe some specific designs of these plugs and sockets. This is assignment 1. It's up to you to choose one or two. And now, if you have this passage in your books, which passage? The passage in which Jan, as a project manager for a firm that manufactures electrical plugs and sockets, is briefing some of his engineering colleagues. If you have this passage in your books, please read it, read this briefing and summarize the aim of the project. يعني all what we want from this assignment is just to read very carefully the briefing in your books and just summarize يعني gives in 2 or 3 sentences the aim of this project, the main idea of this project. That's all. So in assignment 1 we are going to discuss what we know about electrical plugs and sockets used in different countries and describe some specific designs of these plugs and sockets. And in assignment 2 we are going to read first the briefing by Jan, who is a project manager for a firm that manufactures electrical plugs and sockets, and he is briefing some of his engineering colleagues. So just read the briefing and just summarize the main aim or main idea of the project. So choose assignment 1 or assignment 2. That's all. Okay, and prepare it for after next time, inshallah. Okay. And this exercise, we have the first exercise we are going to answer with each other now. We have 6 pictures. These pictures of what? Of plugs and sockets. 6 pictures of plugs and sockets. We are going to read 6 descriptions. So for these 6 pictures, and it's our turn to choose the best and the suitable picture for the correct description. That's all. The pictures from A to F are represented in descriptions from 1 to 6. It's our turn only after reading the descriptions to choose the suitable picture for the correct description. In this exercise, Erin is describing different electrical plug and the socket formats. So we have to match the descriptions from 1 to 6 to the pictures from A to F. Let's have number 1. On this one, there are circular pins for live and neutral. There is no earth pin. This is quite a common format in Europe and Russia. It's also quite widely used in India. The only picture that has two circular pins for live and neutral without no earth or with no earth pin is picture C. So picture C represents description 1. Then number 2. Here you've got circular slots for live and neutral, and the earth slots got a flat base with one side rounded over to form a semicircle. So this type's only used in a few places. This description is suitable to picture E. That's right, picture E. So picture E represents description 2. And then description 3. This one has rectangular plates for live, neutral, and earth in triangular configuration. This is the standard in the UK, United Kingdom, and Ireland, and a few other places, Malaysia and Singapore, for instance. So description 3 is suitable for picture F. That's right, in which we have rectangular plates for live, neutral, and earth, and in triangular configuration. So picture F is suitable for description 3. Description 4. This plug has got circular pins for live and neutral, and it has cylindrical slot to receive the earth pin. It's quite common in continental Europe and in parts of Africa. The picture which has circular pins and cylindrical slot to receive the earth pin is picture B. That's right, picture B. So picture B represents description 4. Number 5. As you can see, there are circular pins for live, neutral, and earth. Circular pins for live, neutral, and earth, and the pins are arranged in linear configuration. So the only picture we have in which we have circular pins for live, neutral, and earth and arranged in linear configuration is picture D. So picture D is suitable for description 5. And this kind or format not a very commonly used format, so it is rarely used. And then number 6 is what? This is the standard in North America and quite common in Central and South America, used in Japan as well. There are flat plates for live and neutral and a round pin for earth. The only picture we have is number A, which represents this type of plug and socket. There are flat plates, as you see in the picture, flat plates for live and neutral, and then a round pin for earth, and they are laid out in triangular configuration. They are arranged in triangular configuration, so an extremely widely used format. So number 5 is rarely used, while number 6 is extremely widely used. Okay, in this way we can put the suitable picture for each description, or the suitable description for each picture in these 6 pictures. Okay, number A has description 6, number B has description 4, number C has description 1, number D 5, number E 2, and number F 3. Okay. And now we have another exercise in which we have to learn what? The use of adjectives out of nouns. First of all, this exercise has sentences that are extractions, parts from the previous descriptions we have just read. And it's our turn to complete these sentences using adjectives of the words inside 2 brackets. we have to complete these sentences using adjectives of words between two brackets. The words between in two brackets, we have to use them to complete these sentences, but using the adjective form of these words. That's all. In order to be correct sentences and the parts of the previous descriptions we have just read, and in order to speak correctly about what about describing components with regard to shapes and features. Okay. He answers the first for us. First of all, he wants us to complete the following phrases from the descriptions using adjectives based on the words in brackets, as I have just said. Okay, the first one is answered for us. There are circular pens for live and neutral. Circular. We have the word between brackets circle as a noun. And we need here, there are circle pens? No, circular pens as an adjective. Circular pens for live and neutral. So the word circular is an adjective of what? Of circle. Okay, the same he wants us to go on with the following sentences. The second, the earth slots got a flat base with one side over to form a semicircle. Round is what? Round here is a verb. Okay, round is a verb. So the adjective of this verb is rounded. Rounded, the past participle of round. The earth slots got a flat base with one side rounded over to form a semicircle. So the adjective of round is rounded, the past participle. Number 3, this one has plates for live, neutral, and earth. What? Rectangular. Rectangular. This one has plates or has rectangular blades for live, neutral, and earth. Rectangle as a noun, the adjective out of this noun is rectangular. Rectangular, with U after the G and the LAR. U after the G plus LAR, rectangular. Rectangular. Okay, this one has rectangular plates for live, neutral, and earth. Sorry for not making a space here after has. The correct form of this sentence is to have a space after has. This one has what? Has rectangular plates for live, neutral, and earth. So we have to have a space between has and blades in order to put what? In order to put the adjective of rectangle, which is rectangular. So this one has rectangular, GULAR, plates for live, neutral, and earth. Number 4, it has a slot to receive the earth bin. It has a cylindrical slot to receive the earth bin. Cylindrical as an adjective is without the E before the R. We have to drop the E before the R plus IKAL, cylindrical. Cylindrical without the E before the R, and ICAL, cylindrical. It has a cylindrical slot to receive the earth bin. Number 5, the bins are arranged in line. ينفع نقول line configuration or no? Line is a verb and a noun, and the adjective is linear. Linear. Line plus AR. Line plus AR. Linear. The pins are arranged in linear configuration. linear يعني على خط واحد. linear configuration يعني بشكل خط واحد، مش triangular configuration. Okay, so the adjective of line is linear. The last one, they are laid out in which type of configuration? Triangular. Triangular, exactly like rectangle. زي ما عملنا في rectangle شلنا الاي الاخيره وحطينا ULAR هتبقى triangular، نفس الحكايه GULAR. triangular. GULAR. They are laid out in triangular configuration. So we have learned from this exercise to use or to describe components with regard to their shapes and features correctly throughout the practice of correct use of words. Instead of using them as nouns, we have to use them as adjectives, and it's our turn to know the adjectives of all these words. Simply, circle, circular, round, rounded, rectangle, rectangular, cylinder, cylindrical, line, linear, triangle, triangular. Okay. Then Erin in this exercise describes for us one picture of the previous 6 pictures at the beginning. Okay, in details, describes it in details. Okay, one picture from the 6 pictures we have just spoken about in exercise 1. Okay, Erin is going to give us a detailed description of one picture of these 6 pictures from A to F. Okay, it's our turn to determine which picture Erin is going to describe in details. That's it. So let's read the description very well and then be able to choose the correct picture for this description. According to Erin's description, which picture from A to F in a previous exercise does Erin describe? Let's read the description. In this configuration, there is a circular slot at the top. It's obviously a blind hole. It doesn't go right through, and that's designed to receive the earth bin, which is mounted on the face of the socket. Then there are 2 plastic ridges, one on either side of the plug casing, and they slot into corresponding grooves at each side of the socket. In addition, the center of the socket is recessed. So rather than being flush with the front of the socket on the same face, the circular area that receives the plug is set back from the surrounding casing in a recess about 15 mm deep. The live and neutral sockets are also equipped with covers just inside the opening. These covers only open when pressure is applied to both by the 2 pins of the plug simultaneously. So we need to look at the advantages of this configuration. Do you need to read it once more? Okay, let's read it once more. Simply why? Because we are going to have just words from this description, okay, and some extractions, parts of this description, and it's our turn to complete these parts of this description using the words we have in the books in the following exercise. Okay, so let's concentrate in reading this description in order to be able to complete the following parts of this description using some words he gives us in the box. In this configuration, and of course in order to be able to choose the correct picture for this description. In this configuration, there is a circular slot at the top. It's obviously a blind hole. It doesn't go right through, and that's designed to receive the earth bin, which is mounted on the face of the socket. Then there are 2 plastic ridges, one on either side of the plug casing, and they slot into corresponding grooves at each side of the socket. In addition, the center of the socket is recessed. So rather than being flush with the front of the socket on the same face, the circular area that receives the plug is set back from the surrounding casing in a recess about 15 mm deep. The live and neutral sockets are also equipped with covers just inside the opening. These covers only open when pressure is applied to both by the 2 pins of the plug simultaneously. So we need to look at the advantages of this configuration. Okay. Think. Now, this exercise represents what? Represents for us some parts extracted from the previous description and some words to complete these extractions. But he wants us to use what? The correct form of these words. In what sense? In the sense that sometimes he gives us the singular form of a word, of a noun, and we have to use the plural. Sometimes he gives us the infinitive of a verb and we have to use the past participle. So each case has its own conditions, and we have to use the correct form of these words to complete the following parts of the previous description. So complete the following extracts from the description using the correct form of the words in the box. Let's read these words and try to get their meanings in order to be able to complete the following parts using these words, or indefinitely the correct form of these words. The word flush with. Flush with means flow. Flow. F-L-O-W. Grove means channel. Channel. Mamar. Okay. Hole, of course we know the meaning of hole. Pin, we have just said about pin that there are the two العمودين اللي بيكونوا من الفيشة بتاعة الجهاز نفسه. recess means cavity. cavity يعني ايه؟ يعني تجويف. recess means تجويف. ridge means top. ridge means top. and setback يعني to replace once more. So these are the words. We are going to use the correct forms of them to complete the following parts from the previous description. The first one, as usual, is answered for us. Let's read it. There is a circular slot at the top. It's obviously a blind hole. Blind hole. It doesn't go right through. So he answers the first using the word hole as it is without any change. Okay? Okay. Number 2. There are two plastic what? One on either side of the plug casing. There are two plastic what? Ridges. That's right. Ridges. Ridges يعني tops. ينفع أقول two plastic ridge? Of course not. Grammatically not incorrect. Grammatically incorrect to say there are two plastic ridge. No, we have to use ridges. There are two plastic ridges. Ridges. R-I-D-G-E-S. In order to be correct grammatically. Okay, one on either side of the plug casing, and they slot into corresponding what? Corresponding what? Groove, only one groove at each side of the socket, or grooves? Of course, grooves. G-R-O-O-V-E-S. They slot into corresponding grooves at each side of the socket. In addition, the center of the socket is what? Is what? Setback, or pin, or recess, or flush with? Of course, recessed. Recessed. Why did I say recessed? Because this sentence is written in passive voice. So after verb to be, we have to use the past participle. So the past participle of recess is recessed. R-E-C-E-S-S-E-D. In addition, the center of the socket is recessed. So rather than being what? Being what? Setback, pin, flush with? Of course, flush with. And why did I use here flush with as it is instead of the in spite of the fact that this sentence again is written in passive voice? So after being, I have to use the past participle simply because the past participle of flush with is flush with as it is. So rather than being flush with the front of the socket on the same face, the circular area that receives the plug is what? Is what? The only one which is suitable here is setback. And again, I use here setback as it is instead of the, in spite of the fact that this sentence again is written in passive voice. So we have is followed by the past participle because the past participle of set is set. So the circular area that receives the plug is set back from the surrounding The only word that we have and the only sentence or parts of the previous description we have is number 3. This covers only open when pressure is applied to both by the two what? Two. ينفع أقول pen. The only word we have is pen. ينفع أقول the two pen? No. 2 pens of the plug simultaneously. So hole is used or was used as it is, and then ridges, and then grooves, and then recessed, that's right, then flush with, then set back, then pins. So we have to use the plural of groove, pin, and ridge, and we used grooves, pins, ridges, and the past participle of recess, which is recessed, but the past participle of set back and flush with are the same, flush with and set back. Okay, in this way we can express, we can describe components of anything with regard to the features and shapes of these components. Like what? Like the many descriptions, we have detailed descriptions and some long descriptions of 6 kinds of what? Of sockets and plugs. 6 kinds, 6 formats, 6 configurations, 6 types of plugs and sockets. Throughout what? Throughout the practice of correct language, in order to write and speak correctly about your own study. Okay, this is enough for you today, and next time inshallah in our face-to-face lecture we are going to complete the second skill in unit 3 inshallah. See you after next time. Assalamu alaikum.